Hey guys, Kia for thebuttonsmashers.com, and this is our review for Yakuza 0. Have you ever wanted to be a part of the Japanese mafia known as the Yakuza, but at the same time you like living? Well, if you have a PlayStation 4 or a PC, you're in luck. Yakuza 0 offers all the awesome perks of being a Yakuza without any of the risks. Like other Yakuza games, this game has fun all over the top fighting mechanics, coupled with a deep engrossing story of crime, betrayal, and Japanese culture. The game is also helped by the fact that it's a prequel, so newcomers to the series can comfortably enjoy the game without knowing anything about the other entries in this series, while long-running fans can get the pleasure of learning more about their favorite characters. Altogether, what you get with Yakuza 0 is a game that should appeal to fans and newcomers alike. The game is set in a fictional 90s-80s recreation of Tokyo's Kabukicho, Shinjuku Golden Gaya areas and Osaka's Dotondori areas, and follows the exploits of two playable characters, Kiryu and Mijima. Kiryu is just as awesome as ever with his calm yet deadly demeanor, yet also sporting a heart of gold, while Mijima shows us just how amazing and crazy he really is. Both characters have interesting stories surrounding them with their own lives, friends, and reasons for doing the things that they do. But the one thing that holds them together, and pretty much every other character in this game, is an empty lot called the Vacant Lot. Different factions in the world of Yakuza 0 want it for reasons that will be revealed the more you play the game, and trust me, it's really convoluted and interesting at the same time. The game is voiced in Japanese with English subtitles and has an assortment of epic soundtracks. Each fighting style in the game has its own beat, and the audio direction for pretty much every aspect of the game is top notch. I highly recommend leaving your volume on high or using headsets for the entire experience. Plots aside, Yakuza 0 at its core is a sandbox experience, which opens up to you after completing a few early missions with Kiryu. Though fantasized, the world in these two Japanese cities are very detailed and alive. NPCs go about their daily routines, side quests are littered everywhere, gangs are around every corner, and if you want more, there are activities to keep you occupied throughout the entire experience of the game, even after you've completed it. If I could sum up a Yakuza game in one word, it would be dense. The maps may seem small when compared to other sandbox titles, but what the Yakuza games makes up for that is by packing every inch of it with activities and interesting things to find. Now, it should also be noted that this game can be completed without doing any of the side activities, but I do recommend trying at least a couple, as I felt that they added a much welcome break from the serious tone of the game's story. Every one of them is interesting, and most shift to a more comical tone, showing the very Japanese nature of the title. Combat in the game is the series' staple hand-to-hand combat system involving different fighting styles and over-the-top finishing moves. If I were to compare the fighting style to fighting styles in other sandbox games, I would consider it to be my second favorite, due to Sleeping Dogs having what I consider to be a much more refined system in play, but not by much. Both main characters have their own set of fighting styles which they learn from different masters during the game. Each style is different and offers a wide variety of ways to dispatch enemies, my favorite of which being the weapon wielding style, which I perfected for exclusive use on the shakedown characters who roam the maps loaded with money. So here's my secret: buy about 4 to 5 slime guns as soon as you find the characters who sell them. You're then going to want to stock up on stamina items and save. Once you find one of these big money bags, switch to the weapon wielding stance as soon as the battle begins. Make sure your slime gun is equipped and wait for him to attack. Dodge the attack and fire 2 to 3 times depending on his attack animation. Rinse and repeat until he's down, and you'll be rewarded with loads of money from farming these wanks. You can then use this money to make your character much better. As for the weapons like the slime gun, there is a mini game of sorts for that. Pretty much there's a mini game for everything in this game, but the mini game for that isn't really engaging or a lot of fun. To be honest, I just spent money to buy my weapons. The game's leveling system is also tied to money, so the more you make, the more you're able to level up your character's stats. Kiryu and Mijima both have their own fighting styles and skill trees, making for a wide variety of options in battle. When not farming to level up these characters, I especially love the boss and mini boss battles, because they allowed me to experiment more with the moves that I purchased from Homeless Snow and other masters in the game. And yes, I know that's not his name and that I don't need to really visit him to buy them, but he's Homeless Snow to me, and the moves that I'm buying from him are materia he's selling to make ends meet. Little things like Homeless Snow and this guy are some of the most hilarious things you'll experience in the game. Furthermore, there's not much about the game that I didn't like. If I had to choose one thing that really broke the immersion for me, it would be the presentation. The game has a weird habit of switching the presentation to a stylized cutscene, which can be a bit off-putting at times. The two most noticeable are the weird cutscenes where characters are talking with a film noir filter, but their lips don't move, and the switch from the super fantastic CGI cutscenes to the less impressive in-game style during the same cutscene. This would be less noticeable if the developer had chosen one style and stuck to it, but as it stands, it's more of a distraction than anything else. It should also be noted that the cutscenes are mostly long undertakings, even the side stories. Yakuza games are heavily story focused, so that means lots and lots of story elements. Now that the game is on the PC, it has a lot of graphical enhancements and settings. On my setup, I wasn't able to take advantage of all of them, but I was satisfied with the performance and presentation. A mid-range PC like this pushing the game so well was impressive. What it means is that the barrier for entry isn't too high, and should allow for more players to experience the game, especially this being the first Yakuza game on the PC. Yakuza 0 on the PC also had lower loading times, though I assume that would be associated with my drive speed more so than anything else. This helped sweeten the deal for me even more, given that the game is littered with loading screens for almost every activity, including entering stores and buildings. So with all that I've had to say so far about this game, here's my final verdict. Ever since my introduction to the Yakuza series with Yakuza 5, I've been itching for more and more of these games in the series, and I'm happy to have Yakuza 0 be the second title I played in this series. It sheds a lot of light on the series' characters in an almost perfect package with no big issues to speak of, and I'm so happy that I'm able to play it again on the PC. It's the kind of game that will appeal to fans of Japan and Japanese culture due to its setting, which is accompanied by such an epic underworld tale that it would probably even get fans of the Godfather series to blush. When I initially wrote this review for the PlayStation 4, I hoped to see more games in this series on the PlayStation 4 and the PC, and that dream has come true. Sega has so far delivered Kiwami and Kiwami 2 for the PlayStation 4 since then, and 0 for the PC, with others planned for the PC at a later time. Thank you very much for watching our review of Yakuza 0. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to leave us a like and a comment in the comment section below to let us know what you think about the game. And if you'd like to see more content like this from us, make sure to like and hit that bell icon so you'll always know when we put out new content.